question that I had yesterday. So if you remember, I told you about Underbar and that I switched from the tests in the browser to the tests in Node because there was a particular error that I couldn't troubleshoot. So I just wanted I wanted to demonstrate what I meant when I said that. And I wanted to record this and so that you could see what I was doing. I do apologize uh, if this recording is not so very good because I'm not very used to that. But so I went in my Git repository to a very early stage during which I was working. And at that very early stage, I only had the, a couple of functions. One of these functions was each. So my first attempt to do each, I didn't quite realize that each needs to treat objects and arrays in different manners. So I thought that, well, since arrays are objects anyway, arrays can be treated as objects. So I wanted to iterate through arrays and objects through any collection using the for-in method. And this wasn't working. So the first test for each was to go through an array of different animals and to do something with them, with that array. So this is my implementation of each. I'm going through this collection using the for-in method. Going back in the browser, I refresh the browser. This is not working. Now, note that all the errors that I'm getting in all the tests that are not working, regardless of whether they are implemented falsely or whether they haven't been even implemented at all, they all give the same error. The error is type error, visible keys index of is not a function. And this error is produced by the chai library. So this is the first offender that produces the error, but eventually the error is produced by the chai library. So okay, I thought that, well, maybe I could debug this error. I didn't quite realize what was going on. So I thought, maybe I could debug it. So let's see. If I select this line here and go to debugger mode and to the sources, to Underbar, try to find this line, and refresh the page. So here's the debugger. It stopped here. What is my collection? It is the collection of animals that were given here. Okay. So this is the test, the test file, part 1. So my animals are, oops, I can't access them. Okay. So I have animals, I have the iterator, I'm walking along the array of the animals. Right. So, okay, I can do that several times. And now I believe I finished walking along the array. So now I'm at the expect line, at the line that would actually test the result. And the funny thing is that confused the hell out of me is that if I look, so I expect the iteration inputs to be equal to this array, right? So what is my iteration inputs? It is an array of arrays. Now, what are the arrays? So the expectation expects to have ant, bat, cat, 0, 1, 2, and then animals, they're the same, and bad cat, and bad cat, and bad cat. So basically my iteration inputs is exactly the same as the array it is tested against. So the expectation that is trying to deeply compare to see whether these arrays are deeply equal to each other should work, but it's not working. So well, if we refresh the page, we can see that it is not working. So the first test is not passing. Even if I click on the test itself, as you suggested, the only information that I'm getting is the definition of the test. So I couldn't really get any information of why this was not working. But okay, I can go even further. That's what I was trying to do. And let's see what the visible keys index of, where it appears and what happens. Now, this is the line that appears in the child library here. So if I try to refresh my page with the breakpoint over there, now the line apparently, visible keys, are the keys of the object, either the object itself or the array. So the keys are correct, and this structure appears to be an array, right? A legitimate array. So the funny thing is that I even get a auto-completion visible keys index of. So Chrome thinks that this is an array and that it should have the method called index of. Now this index of is null. And if I try to do this, this is the error that I'm getting. Type error visible keys index of is not a function. So this is something that is inherent in the child library. And this is something that appears only in the browser, because when I switched over to Node, I was not getting this this error. So that's my rationale. That's my reasoning for switching over from the browser to over to Node. Although to be fair, it's much easier and it's much nicer to debug in the Chrome environment than in Node. Well, thanks for watching and listening, and hopefully for any additional input that you might have. See you. Bye.